Give us about 3 more minutes. We'll start with Dexter Dennis, then Isaac Brown. All right, we'll have Dexter in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, that was crazy, bro.
All right, Dexter Dennis.
That's cool.
Take questions down.
Yeah, Dexter, highest ranked win in 54 years, first place in the conference. Tell me what that locker room was like in there.
Hey, wait, Taylor. Highest ranked home win.
Yeah,
home win, sorry.
Yeah, Brian said. It felt legendary almost, like in a just weird way, because I think of all the things we've been through this year, we're still beating the odds. I know we were picked like 7th or 6th in the conference. So to get that win, it felt great just because of all the things we've been through for sure, and all the things we're still going through. And just good shout out to that team, man. That's a really, really hard playing team. They play extremely hard every time out. So, it was crazy.
Dexter, there seemed to be a day and night compared to the first 10 minutes of the game all the way to the end. Explain to us what you saw out there.
It's just we weren't really playing well, and they were. So they were capitalizing on things. We weren't really being smart, I say, but that wasn't our best basketball. We knew eventually we were going to start playing the way we normally play.
Is this the type of basketball that you guys thought and knew you could be playing all year as we kind of built up to this point?
I don't know. All the things that happened this year, we didn't know what was going to happen. It was certain times we were going through COVID shutdowns. We just was like, are we going to even play basketball? We just really, really wanted to play. So now that we're playing, I'll say, yeah, I think we know our potential, but it comes down to just maximizing our potential every day of practice, every time the ball is tossed.
And then walk me through that steal at the end of the game to kind of seal it for you guys. Just kind of what was going through your head as you were making the break for the ball there at the end of the game.
Kind of just hiding a little bit, hiding behind somebody or something like that. I know he really didn't see me. So once he kind of picked it up and started doing like this, I was watching his eyes. So once he left his hands, I just took off.
And when you look at the box score, see the rebounding stats, I know that was a huge concern for you guys coming in, or a huge focus to out-rebound them. What does that mean to you guys?
I think it shows we could do it. A lot of the games we played in, we really didn't rebound. It looked like we almost weren't trying. So now, that we have done it, I think now it's just doing it every game against – it don't matter who we play. We just have to rebound. It has to be stressed every game for sure.
Dexter, on that steal, were you 100% sure they were going to get the ball to Grimes, and that's what you were keying on?
Man, he had just hit a tough backboard three. I don't know. That's kind of weird. Like, I think every other game somebody hits a backboard three on me. It's like super crazy. Like, but anyway, no, I knew he was calling for it. I seen his hands. He was calling for it, and dude was like dribbling, and he was looking at him, but he didn't see me. So once he released his hands, I just ran through the ball, ran through the pass line. Honestly.
Dexter, Al-Tariq's ability to drive through that defense, get into the lane, how important was that in the second half? Yeah,
super important. I've been saying that since he's gotten here. He's like one of the only people I really can't like really stand in front of, honestly, because he's like 5 whatever, but he's a midget almost. But he's so fast and so quick with the ball. So him doing that, able to create for himself and also create for us because the defense is going to collapse on him. So I've been saying that, man. It's one of his best attributes, in my opinion.
And after being on the wrong side of 6 straight losses to Houston, what was that locker room like after this big win at home?
Oh man, it was very, very crazy, man. I think the staff was really just proud of us, the way we battled. Like you said, the first half for a minute, we weren't really playing well, and just this year, all the things we've been through, and losing to them 6 straight times, it's just it felt great in there, man. Just a sense of just relief almost, you know what I'm saying? You don't really want to let people just beat up on you all the time, but we still have a lot of work to do. And I think now people will start to appreciate this league a little more, appreciate us maybe, but we're still not done.
And you mentioned that appreciation. How much do you pay attention to the NCAA tournament bubble and that, you guys are kind of on the outside looking in until this win maybe sure things up? Just what are your thoughts on that and that situation?
I really don't pay attention to it. Like any social media stuff going on with the team, I don't pay attention. I just hear my teammates or somebody talk about it, and sometimes it's kind of weird to hear. But I think this is a slept-on conference. I think we have a lot of good teams in this conference that can compete with almost anybody. So honestly, man, we're still locked in. We still got a lot of people to prove wrong.
And I mean, Houston is. I mean, they're so good on defense. With the aggressive traps and. The rebounding is just an all-out war. I mean, how would you describe 40 minutes against them and what it takes to beat them?
You have to match their intensity, if not overtake it, because if you don't, you're going to get embarrassed. And that's something they've been doing. That's their culture. That's what they've been doing. But also that was a part of our culture too, What coaches built here over the years is just play angry. That mindset it's made this program. And we're trying to get back to that still, but they play extremely, extremely hard every time, every possession, almost really.
Anybody else for Dex?
Merry Christmas.
Let me know when you're ready.
Coach, we'll get an opening statement from you and then open things up for questions.
Number one, I'm just so proud of these guys. You know, when I first got this job, we told these kids that just trust us, that we're going to give them 110% every day. And all those guys trust the process, and they just basically stepped up and just been doing tremendous on the court, off the court, in the classroom. Houston, good basketball team. We got off to a slow start. They were really defending at a high level. They started the game with 2 offensive rebounds, and I think we made 2 substitutions really quick because we told them before the game started, this is going to be a hit game. When the ball is up in the air, you got to find someone to touch. So I thought we did a great job on the glass. We out-rebounded them. We were equal in offensive rebounds. We were able to cut it to 2 or 3 points at the half. We were down 12, and the guys just kept battling. In the second half, I felt like we started to execute a little bit. We started to get some drives to the basket. We started to get out in transition. And at the end of the game, those guys stepped up, got some stops, made some free throws, and we were able to pull it out.
Yeah, Coach, I'm sure that you're probably most happy about that rebounding stat. I know the defensive rebounding probably wasn't where you wanted, but to level it out on the other end for you guys to get that many offensive rebounds against them, just how happy were you to see that final stat that you out-rebounded them?
I'm just so excited about that. They met the challenge. You know, coming into the game, that's all we talked about. You know, they're going to make some shots. We're going to make some shots. We're going to miss. They're going to miss. But this game is going to come down to 3 keys: rebound, rebound, rebound. Every time the ball is up in the air, you got to find someone to touch. And I thought those guys did a great job of going to make contact. Even if we didn't get the rebound, the ref had to call a foul. And once that happened, it kind of equaled everything out that we were able to rebound with those guys.
Coach, it was a little bit day and night when you compare the first 10 minutes of the game compared to the end of the game. What did you say to keep your team collective and calm in order to get the big win tonight?
You know what? I thought about it today, and I talked about it before the game with the staff, that at some point in the game is going to be some adversity, and I just got to try to keep my cool because I can get excited out there at times. We get down 10 or 12. You know, I start yelling. But tonight, I just wanted to keep my cool, tell those guys to keep battling. And in the huddle, again, that leadership from Dexter Dennis, Tyson, all those guys, Morris, Udeze, all those guys came together. They kept battling. They kept chipping away, and we were able to cut it from 12 to about 2 or 3 points at the half. In the second half, you know, we played shocker basketball. We were able to get out in transition, get some easy baskets, and we ran a couple sets to get certain guys the ball.
IB, what was your view on Dexter's steal? How did that unfold to your view?
Wow, big time play. I thought overall it was a total team effort, but that play right there sealed the deal for the win. He did that same exact thing down at Houston. They were bringing it up in the first half, and they threw it away, and he grabbed it, went and dunked it, the same exact play. He does that a lot in practice. He has good anticipation. He can get steals, and I just thought that was a veteran play, and that sealed the deal. So proud of him.
And I know you guys have been through so much, you know, before the season, off the court drama, the COVID stuff, to be, you know, picked 7th in the conference, now to be able to say, you know, first place, you know, best home win in 54 years. Just, I mean, I know you guys are still in the midst of it, but I mean, how cool is it just to be in this position and to kind of, you know, exhale and, I mean, take a look around and, you know, smell the roses a little bit.
You know what? Yeah, it was a lot of adversity when the season started. And like I said, our first meeting with the team, our staff, we talked about, you guys just got to trust us. We're going to give you 110% every night. We can't let anybody in our circle. And, you know, we started the season out slow. We started 1-2. And I tell people this, that first 2 games, we played with 8 players. So we didn't make any excuses. In the end, those guys kept battling. They kept getting better. They kept believing. And they just trust us. We trust them, and they trust our staff.
And do you think this win should put you guys in a conversation for the NCAA tournament now, maybe further on to the bubble, or how do you look at that?
I've always thought this was a 3-bid league. I think the top 3 teams in this league should get in the tournament every year. I mean, I think this is a really good basketball league. You know, a lot of rich traditions here. You know, Memphis is a good team, SMU, us, you know, Tulsa, all those teams got good basketball teams. But I think this does put us in position to get there, but we still got to take it one game at a time. It's still a long season and not sure how many games we'll make up, but we got 2 tough games coming up, you know, back-to-back with SMU.
Tariq's really playing well in February, it seems. What are you seeing from him that's been improved?
I would say he's putting in the work. You know, he got off to a slow start. He wasn't shooting it great, but he was still able to run our team. But after practice, every day, he gets up 200-300 shots. And those shots that he's getting up now, he's starting to make them in the game. But he's just become a leader on the floor, in the locker room, you know, in the weight room. His leadership is really starting to stand out.
How valuable is that when you're up against such an aggressive defense that traps every ball screen? His ability to, you know, split the double team and kind of just wiggle past defenders. How valuable is that against an aggressive defense like that?
I think it's huge. When you got guys on the floor that can go make plays, it makes a head coach's life easy. And I give them the freedom to go make those plays. You know, sometimes they may turn it over, but 90% of the time, our assist to turnover ratio is really good. And I think we got 3 or 4 guys that can go make plays. They can create shots for themselves and they can create for their teammates. And I think that's the difference in why we're winning right now.
What would you say looking back on it? Like you mentioned, you know, you guys get off to a slow start this season. Looking back on it now, what do you feel like really worked for you and the coaching staff to keep these guys, you know, level-headed and get them on this run that they're on right now?
You know, we got off to the slow start, but I would say that had a lot to do with COVID. We played Oklahoma State at home with 8 players. Nothing against Oklahoma State, good basketball team, top 25. We had 2 guys that had never played Division I basketball in that game. So we just didn't have depth. We weren't able to practice 5-on-5. We were going 4-on-4. And it was pretty much the same thing against Missouri. That's a top 25 team in the country. So we never thought we had a bad basketball team. We got off to a slow start because of the COVID. But those guys just kept staying together, not making excuses. And we got off to a good start by going on the road and getting a couple wins at Tulsa, Ole Miss, South Florida. And their confidence just started to grow, you know.
And, I mean, I know you've been around this league for a long time. How would you kind of describe 40 minutes with Houston, just the level of defense they play, how hard they go to the glass to survive 40 minutes and to beat them? What kind of effort does it take?
You know what? It takes such a good effort that I'm going to give them the day off. Those guys, when you play Houston, they just keep coming at you, hitting you. So it takes a lot out of you. It's hard to score because on offense, you know, when you're trying to score, you just had to box those guys out. They're constantly going to the glass. They pushing it in transition. They got a big physical basketball team, and that's why we had to go to our bench early. We wanted to keep those guys fresh, and I thought we'd do a good job of making sure that we sub guys in, and we played 9 or 10 guys.
Did Monzi really turn things early when you subbed him in early in the game? He seemed to really – he got to the line and rebound. Were those minutes really crucial?
Valuable minutes. You know, every time Monzi comes in the game, he gives us a lot of energy off the bench. Our bench was a little short-handed tonight. We were missing Craig Porter, but I thought the rotation was great. We told the guys we got to step up. Everybody got to be able to go make plays. Dexter had to play a lot of 2 tonight because Craig wasn't there, and Tyson had to play a lot of point. But I thought it was a total team effort, and those guys were able to operate even though they were playing different positions.
And you've been around for, you know, a lot of good times in this program too. Is to see Wichita State, you know, you guys are all over Twitter right now, you know, getting a lot of love, a lot of praise. What's it like to see, you know, Wichita State back in that national spotlight?
I'm just so excited for these kids, you know, with all that they done went through. These guys came in here because of our rich basketball tradition, our fan support. We got the best fans in the country. And I'm just so happy for the fans, and I'm so happy for the players that they're getting this attention. And I just keep telling them, keep battling, keep getting better, and stay together. I'm just so proud of them.
All right, anything else for Isaac? Coach.
All right, bro. All right, thank you.
All right, I'm muting.
All right, Tyson Etienne, questions?
Tyson, what does it mean to have the biggest win at home in decades since '67, the biggest win over a high-ranked team, and then also getting into first place in the American? What do both those mean to you?
To be honest with you, I've been overcome with, emotions, and I try to keep my emotions in check. So it's kind of hard to even put it into words. I'm just so grateful to be a part of this moment, so grateful to be a part of this team. I was saying it from the beginning of the game, let's make history. At halftime, I was saying, let's make history, and the guys followed, and we did just that. So it's an amazing feeling to do that here in Wichita.
Is it safe to say a win like tonight is a reason why you came back to WSU?
I never doubted. I said that from day one. When everybody started transferring, it seemed like the walls was falling, I stayed solid in my decision. And, it's for reasons like this. I knew it was possible. I knew what we had, even though we lost Coach Marshall, I knew what we still could do. I mean, just because Coach Marshall left don't mean the talent left with him, so I'm solid in my decision to stay. And this is just proof to that.
Tyson, it was a fun game, especially with the trash talking going on. Can you walk us through the competitiveness that was out there on the court today?
Oh, it's a man's game, you know what I'm saying? So it's who wants to win more. They want to win, we want to win. Sometimes going to get chippy, but that's basketball game, especially going two top teams in the conference fight for number one seed. It's going to get chippy. It's all love, though, at the end of the day. It's nothing going to carry out onto the sidewalk or nothing, but, while we on that floor, it's no friends. We compete. So that's just how it goes. They got chippy, we got chippy back. We're not going to back down for nobody.
Tyson, everything you guys have went through, all the off-the-court drama before the season, the COVID issues to start, pick 7th. Now here you guys are, first place, knocking off, a top 10 team. What can you say about this team's resilience and just how proud are you of, for you guys to be in this spot right now?
Resilience is the perfect word to put to describe it. We've been through so much. The country's been through so much dealing with COVID. Us not even know if we're going to have a season and stuff going on internally within our program. Just to be in this moment before the game fighting for first place was a blessing. But to be, on the other side of that and to say that we're number one is just something that, is unbelievable. And I'm so grateful that I myself can experience it, but everybody else on our program can experience it because, that doesn't come around all the time. You said 1967, like that's a long time ago. And for us to do it in the manner that we did, back against the wall, You know, they're number 6 in the country. They're a great team. But for us to hold down home court advantage and win the game in the fashion we did is just a testament to what we've been through and how we've grown because of that.
And looking back, you know, you guys were kind of off to a slow start, you know, mostly because of COVID issues. I mean, death related, but, you know, when it got off to a slow start, what was the key to, you know, Coach Brown and the coaching staff? What did they do to kind of keep you guys level headed? And just looking back, what was kind of that key to getting you guys where you are now?
I believe that they through it all, they still showed confidence in us. You know, obviously the COVID stuff was kind of out of our control. We couldn't, you know, handle that. We still went out with 8 guys and put up a fight against a Big 12 team and an SEC team, and they're doing well in their conference. And we were still in the game. We didn't get blown out or anything, but we just trusted the process. And I think was really a testament to everything that's going on is just how the group stayed connected. When we stayed connected, never gave up on each other, always had each other's back. The older guys looking out for the younger guys, you know, coming to work every day with a good attitude, and just coaches just trusting us and just leading us to where we need to be. So it's a group effort going on here.
And after missing that free throw, I'm sure you were, you know, maybe not panicking, but, you know, a little nervous. I'm sure you had a good view of that Dexter steal. What did you see, you know, how that play unfolded, and just how clutch has Dexter been on defense all year for you guys?
Dexter Dennis was being Dexter Dennis. I missed the free throw, you know, but I just felt something was going to happen. I seen him before the play. I saw him run. I just seen him dart. And I looked, and as soon as Jerome threw the ball, I seen Dex just play through it like a cornerback. And he took it to the rim. He obviously got fouled hard, but, you know, that's the play of the game. Seriously, that is insane. He just saved us.
And how would you kind of describe just the 40 minutes to go toe-to-toe